Hello and namaste everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of To Be Free series that we have been developing for the past few weeks. In fact, the goal of this series is to help everyone acquire health, happiness, and harmony. In this episode, we will touch upon a very important aspect in this journey of meditation, yoga, ultimately to achieve that health, happiness, and harmony. The biggest question that we get asked from many who get on to the practice of meditation or yoga is that they are not able to keep up the practice, that they have a lot of hurdles that they come across as they go through this journey. So I thought I'd be able to reflect on my own journey of 16 years under this ancient sage, Sunita Amma, and share those experiences along with what ancient scriptures have provided us. So the question is, when people get started on the journey of meditation, there are different hurdles that they run into. And why do we run into those hurdles and blockages, and how to overcome them? Now, if I look back on my own journey when I started 16 years back with Sunita Amma, I first started with a couple of sessions, and as I was going forward in those sessions, of course, I've experienced that pure bliss, experienced that amazing state of inner calm and serenity and perfect harmony, and my health started to get better. But I was also going through a state of doubt, a state of question, skepticism, and I was also projecting out some of those from my inside, and I was actually having a lot of doubts about her. I was thinking that she has ego. I was thinking that she has certain things that I was looking at through this process of meditation. And as I went through the journey, I started to understand that in fact I was projecting all of those out. And it was not an easy task because, when we look at the world through these two physical eyes and through these sense organs, everything seems the way it's supposed to be. But we know that is not the case. That is not reality. The reality is actually to be able to see deeper than the reality that we see. So as I went through that journey, I have realized how my own false ego inside, my own distracted, scattered mind, my own deeply rooted emotions within me have been causing those blockages or those doubts. And when I go back into that state of silence and reflect on that, I would instantly see how ignorant I was. That ignorance is the key word here, my dear friends. And the very essence of meditation is to be able to clear that ignorance. And what happens is, in true meditation, again, just closing eyes and sitting and try to concentrate and focus. Yes, it is a good start. Yes, you may feel relaxed, but true meditation is actually going down to that subconscious, going down within, deep within, and cleaning those layers of ignorance. And most of the meditations don't really acknowledge that. In fact, I'll tell you a secret. The true meditation is actually a roller coaster ride in the first few weeks or first few sessions of your practice. So you can really tell whether you're meditating or not unless you actually go through that roller coaster ride in the first few sessions. You're not actually truly meditating, because as you go deeper inside, you will start to kind of bring up all those accumulations of ignorance that you had over many years, many lifetimes. Who knows how much we have accumulated. And I have been a witness to my own journey in this process. Like I mentioned, in the first few weeks, I was going through that skepticism. I was going through my own ignorances and projecting it out on my teacher. But as I started to see how they are being cleansed and started to go beyond those, I started to see the reality as it is. So ancient wisdom actually classifies this ignorance into different forms. In fact, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the great amazing text on yoga that was written by sage Patanjali, classifies these blockages as kleshas, or hurdles that we come across as we move forward. And those are called as, the first one in fact is called avidya. Avidya is ignorance, lack of knowledge. Vidya is enlightenment or true knowledge. Avidya is lack of that, which is called as ignorance. And ignorance is again further classified down into different aspects. What are we ignorant about? Which means we are mistaken about the reality. What is that? And they are, the first thing is the discrimination between real and unreal. See, when we see the world outside, we think it is real. Yes, it is real to a certain extent, but is that the ultimate reality? It is not. There is more to that. And we mistake the things that we see to be permanent in this world. And the moment we see something, we think it's going to last forever, and we get attracted and we get attached to it as if we are going to have this forever in our life. But we know that's not the reality. And that is called nitya, anitya, vichakshana. Means discriminating what is permanent and what is not permanent. We know that this body itself is not permanent. We know that nothing in this world is permanent. Everything goes through the cycle of creation, sustenance and destruction. But yet, we fall into the trap thinking that everything is going to stay here forever. So that is the first ignorance that we all go through. And then the next ignorance is between the purity and impurity. Very important this is. We do so many things that everything is fine. In fact, I have mentioned in the past that until I came to Sukshma meditation, until I have been in the presence of ancient sage Sunita Amma, I did not even remember knowing the word purity. Like, yes, we learn in English the word purity, but what is its true essence? What is its application in life? I have never knew about it. So, discriminating that what is pure and what is impure, even simply in terms of food that we take. We eat all kinds of junk food. We get attracted to all the foods that are not good for the body. So right there is a discrimination between what is pure for your body and what is impure for the body. Water, simple water, pure water or impure water. Now if you go further down, pure thoughts versus impure thoughts. All of this discrimination is not there in a person who is ignorant, which is most of us. I myself included when I started this journey 16 years back. Now the next ignorance is lack of understanding between what is true happiness and what is not. This is called dukkha and sukha. We think something gives us pleasure and we get attracted to that, and eventually we realize it is pain. There is nothing in this world which can give you permanent happiness. We have been talking about this in this series. When we especially talked about happiness aspect, there is nothing in this world that can give you permanent happiness, because this world is not permanent. Anityam asukham lokam means this world is not permanent and it will not give you permanent happiness. But yet we fall for all these material pleasures and we think they are going to give us permanent happiness, and we keep hopping from one pleasure to the other pleasure, eventually going through the cycle of pain and pleasure, pain and pleasure. Again, we are stuck in that duality between pain and pleasure without understanding where that real happiness is. We know that real happiness is your true nature. The true nature, in fact, is the next ignorance we are going to talk about, is difference between Atma and Anatma. Your true self gives you bliss. Your untrue self does not give you bliss. Lack of the discrimination between your true self and untrue self is another level of ignorance. See, if you see how many levels of ignorance we have seen. First is what is permanent versus what is temporary. Second is what is pure and impure. Third, what is happiness and what is sadness or pain and pleasure. And the fourth is your true self and what is untrue self. These are the four things that we all carry this in our lifetimes. And the true essence of meditation, the true path to your enlightenment journey or awakening journey or your spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it, or even health, happiness and harmony, are dependent on these four. If you are able to clear these four ignorant layers, then you will be able to achieve health, happiness and harmony. Again, remember, always being aware of these things. But none of us have taught this. Even myself, until I came to Ancient Sage Sunitama, I did not know this. I was not aware of what is this. But as I continued my journey, I started to realize I had all of these inside me, because of which I was going through my own share of suffering in life, which we all do. Now that's the first hurdle that we get in meditation. So true meditation helps us clear that first layer, which is the avidya. You will keep hearing this word avidya or ignorance in the entire spiritual journey. We in fact also say why people go through these 6 vices. The 6 vices are actually an outcome of ignorance. We talk about it, right? The kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaryas, which is excess desire, excess anger, greed, false ego, jealousy, delusion. All of these 6 vices, the root is avidya. The root is lack of knowledge of these things, and because of which we make so many mistakes in life. Now that was avidya, the first hurdle. Next hurdle in the path of meditation is asmita. Asmita is lack of knowing our real self. We mistake our true identity with our emotions and body. We think we are the body. We think we are the thoughts. We think that we are the emotions. That lack of discrimination of who we really are is asmita. And again, true meditation will reveal that true essence to you. It has to reveal it. There is nothing from outside that comes in. That has to be revealed. It's already there in all of us. But unfortunately, because of that false identification that we have with these changing thoughts and emotions and this changing body, we fall into the trap. And the trap presents us. In that prison, we go through suffering. And in that suffering, we lose our health, we lose our happiness, we lose our harmony. There you go. Simple solution for health, happiness and harmony is knowing your true self. See how beautifully it was analyzed by these ancient scriptures. Now we have done avidya, asmita. There are next 2. Actually, we can bundle them up together. Raga, dvesha. Raga is attachment, love, not true love. The false love that we all have, the infatuated love, that attraction, that attachment is raga. Dvesha is, I hate this. Now, if you look at our life, we go through this cycle constantly. We love people who say something good about us. We immediately hate people who say something against us. Let's say you have written something, or let's say I have done this video. And somebody comes and tells me, Suman, this video is fantastic. Oh, really? Oh my goodness, thank you. And then you start loving that person. If somebody comes and says, Suman, that video, I don't think it's very good. You don't look great. You talked all rubbish. The natural tendency is to develop hatred. We go through this cycle. We see this in our families, in our work environment. We go through this cycle every moment. Our mind is constantly trying to get attached and love some things and then hate other things that we don't like. Even food, we get attracted to certain type of food. Sweets, we all love the sweets. And then anything bitter, no, you hate it. In fact, yoga says one who goes beyond this raga dvesha develops a state of equanimity, also called as sthita prajnata. You are beyond those two. You're not too attached to anything, nor you're not detached to anything. You're observing everything. Something pleasurable comes, you're observing. Yes, while eating, you may like something, you observe it. When you have something bitter that you have to eat, you're also accepting it. To go beyond that raga dvesha is true meditation. Many people I know, they say they meditate, but the moment they see food, they are attracted. The favorite food, sweets, they get attracted. And the moment they see something which is not that good, they get detached, like hate it. So, raga dvesha. So, avidya, ignorance, asmita, lack of knowledge of true self. Third, raga. Fourth, dvesha. And fifth one is abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means fear. What is the greatest fear we all have? We talked about it in the last episode. The greatest fear we all have is fear of death. Even though we all know at this moment, one day we have to perish. We have to leave this world. This physical body has to be destroyed and decayed and goes back into the elements of the earth and the universe. Yet, we want to cling on to this life. We are so attached, we no matter what want to keep this life going forever. Forever. Can you believe it? You ask anyone, you want to live for a long time? They'll be like, yes, happily. But a realized one, not at all attached. You are ready even now. Even at this moment, I am ready to leave this physical body. If the call comes, we don't know when the call comes, right? None of us know when the call comes. But to be able to be ready to leave this physical body without any attachment to this physical body is going in the right path of yoga or meditation. So, losing that fear of death, not clinging on to this life and ready to dissolve into these elements of the universe is also in the right direction. So, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, 5. And in avidya, we have understood what are those 4 aspects. Mistaking permanent, temporary to be permanent, mistaking impure to be pure, mistaking sadness, pain to be pleasure. These are the things. And mistaking self to be non-self. All these things are the cause of ignorance, my dear friends. So these are the blockages each one of us is going to go through as we enter this path of meditation. You will start to see them coming out because they are all there in subconscious. We have all of this sitting in our subconscious. True meditation helps us to sublimate the mind. See, my dear friends, that real meditation is ultimately to melt away the mind. Remember that. True meditation is to melt the mind. Now, what are we melting? The moment I say this, people ask, oh, which means there is no mind? Yes, there is mind. That mind that remains after true meditation is a wholesome mind, holistic mind, purified mind. What is it that we are melting away? We are melting away all these 5 kleshas. These 5 kleshas are the impurities sitting in the mind that needs to be cleared. Just like a golden ore that is coming out from the crust of the earth, when it is put in the fire, what is it that is being taken away? All the impurities are melted away so that you got pure glittering gold coming out of that ore. Similarly, melting the mind is a process of eliminating that false ego. That false ego is constantly bothering. I remember writing an article in 2007 called Melting the Mind as I was in this journey. How my false ego was projecting out, how it was trying to defend myself. And I realized that this journey is to clean the mind. Sukshma, especially the beauty of Sukshma, meditation and power of an ancient sage is to be able to penetrate through the subconscious and clean these kleshas, these 5 layers of impurities one by one, so that you start to experience that purity. That purity leads to what is called divinity. Divinity doesn't mean it's out there somewhere. Ancient wisdom says, Deho Devalaya Prokto Jivo Deva Sanatana. Means this body is the embodiment of the divine. That indweller, that subtlest of the subtle pure vibration, the true self we were talking about, where we unfortunately mistake that with all these false identities. The true self is the very divine. You will experience it. I have been a witness to that in my own journey. I was one of you. But in this journey, as I kept going step by step by step by step, you start to see how these layers clear one after the other, and the revelation of the true self starts to happen. For that, you need a right teacher, a right master, who just not gives you a technique and says, go do this. Techniques will not get you very far, my dear friends. You need the guidance of a realized ancient sage who can help you in that states, different states as you go through, because it's very difficult. This mind, I said, is so tricky. It will trap you and say, oh, why is she telling me this? Why is she not knowing me? I remember Sunita Amma so many times telling me, Suman, I know you better than you know yourself. You see that? I know you better than you know yourself at that time. Right? Because I did not know who I was. But a real sage will look through you and see, oh, there is a diamond inside. But that has to be cleaned a little bit. It has to be cleaned so that the impurities are removed. So, true meditation, my dear friends, is cleansing, purifying, silencing, and then the real transformation and shift will happen. Unless that clearing and purifying doesn't happen, there is no outcome from any path that you take. And only a purified mind can experience permanent health, permanent happiness, permanent harmony. Because they are not coming from outside anywhere, they are just blossoming from inside. And that is the essence of true yoga and meditation. So now let's do a few minutes of practice. I know even these simple practices can be just a primer for you. But if you really want, check out our website, peacetree.ca. Get in touch with us. Get connected. Take a consultation session with Sunita Amma. You will see what an ancient sage feels like. And then see if you are ready for this journey. This amazing journey of a lifetime. So let's sit back, relax, keep that smile. See, even all during this talk I'm enjoying, because that bliss is emanating from inside. I don't need anything else from outside. I can stay like this forever and ever and ever. This is the most invaluable treasure, my dear friends. No amount of wealth, name, fame can buy this, because it is ever flowing, emanating, revealing from inside. Nothing can stop this flow. Bring attention to your breath and smile. Be aware. Start with this simple awareness. Then in that awareness, you will start to see all these 5 hurdles, blemishes, impurities. What are these impurities? What do I need to melt? What do I need to clear? You will know. But that first few sessions, you will struggle a little bit. because these, these things you have pampered for all these years. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. You have pampered these pets. It's going to take a little bit hard time to let go of this. Sunita Amma says, you have been feeding them biscuits like you feed them to your puppy dog. So they keep coming, give me more, give me more. Now tell them enough is enough. I'm not going to feed you anything at this point. I have to feed my soul. I have to find my true self. I have to smile for myself. I have to breathe for myself. Just keep breathing nice, deep inhalations, deep exhalations. Pay attention to that breath. Enjoy that breath, that life force. All these disturbances are gonna come. Distractions are gonna come. But just observe and let go. Open up your heart, not your mind. Enough of analysis. Tell your mind, I want to make you holistic. Whole mind, not scattered mind. Illuminated mind, not dark mind. Energized mind, not lethargic mind. Connect to ancient sages who have given this beautiful tradition to us. There are still some of these ancient sages like Sunita Amma, and probably many more in corners of the world who are self-realized, who are an embodiment of that pure vibration. An embodiment of Ananda, bliss, who are an embodiment of that Samadhi, Samamaina Buddhi, equal-minded, no matter what, centered, grounded, blissful. Spreading that smile into your heart. Let every cell in your body receive that smile. Whole body is relaxing. Your mind is slowly calming down. Letting go of those distractions. It's becoming one-pointed. Going deeper and deeper into your heart. Drinking that nectarine saliva oozing out of your throat. Be there however long you want. Deeper and deeper, receiving those pure vibrations. Energizing. Enlightening. Becoming an embodiment of that bliss. Weeding out any impurities. Constant integrated awareness. Be in bliss.